So Dan, you make a really good point, and I love that. Like you use social media as kind of your super diary, if you will, and that's, I mean, I love it. I love exactly what you said. I do the same thing. But what I'm talking about is curating your content. Okay, putting the information that you want people to know and see about you in one place. And if somebody wants to learn about you, you can give them that as a resource. If you want to connect with someone, you're going to want to control your image. Now, I'm not alone in this thought. This is why Google came out with what they call people cards. It's only in India right now. And essentially, they say control your search, and they give everyone like a digital business card online, and you put your social media handles, your this, your that, but it's just a bunch of links and an about me, and it goes through Google. So if someone searches through Google, they'll find that. And it's i I think it's great, but it's going through Google, and Google is an advertising agency. What I'm talking about is a space that you control, that's not filled with advertisements, that's not being sucked from your content, and you curate that. So I'm going to give you a couple. I'll give you an example. My aunt died, and at the funeral, I gave my cousin my MICAH. He went to my MICAH, and then he called me, and we talked like we had known each other for years. He was able to see all of me, what I wanted to be seen, because on my MICAH, I have a link to my YouTube. I actually have it built right in. I'm going to share a link here. So my YouTube is built in. My Facebook is built in. Whatever I want people to know, it's built in. You don't even have to leave my MICAH to see it. You can, but you don't have to. And then I have links there, so if you want to reach out to one of those places, you can. Now, you mentioned my brother John. Um, here, this is interesting because my friend Johnny passed away some years ago, and I wasn't on Facebook. I was on MySpace thanks to my friend Ed. And then he's like, "You gotta go to Facebook." I'm like, "Dude, I'm not hopping around. I don't care. Like, MySpace does what I need to do. It gives me like MySpace, right? I'm good." Everybody's on Facebook. All right, whatever. I didn't even go. But my brother John was on Facebook, and my friend Johnny was in the hospital. I didn't know it. My friend Heather found my brother John online, and they told me, and I got there for the funeral. I missed the hospital because I had moved. My number had changed. I got into it with Sprint. Same number, 15 years, man. 15 years. Same number. That to me was like, that was my home, that phone number. Everything connected to that, like an email and everything else. It like connected to. But what I learned is I didn't control that. Not at all. And when you're on some of these networks, they control it. They cut you off. You get mad. People start fighting. You get anxiety. Whatever. You got to go. So, anyhow, they tell John about Johnny, and he told me, and then I went to his house, and but it was too late. They had already pulled the plug, so I didn't get to say goodbye to him. I didn't get. It's a part of me that's like, he was in a coma, and a part of me feels like if I was there, I could have shook him out the coma. I could have tried. I was so mad that they pulled him off of that machine before I got to talk with him because they knew how close we were. He was the first friend that I can ever remember besides a relative. So, yeah, I was hurt. But the point is, I get choked up when I talk about it because people think I'm trying to sell, and I'm not. What I'm doing is saying, I had a problem and I found a solution. It works for me. It might work for you. Okay. Um, it's very deep, the solution. There's lots of things that it can do because my problem, I realized, was more than just one thing. It was more than just missing the funeral. I knew Johnny's phone number. I knew where he lived. He knew where I lived, but his parents didn't know where I lived. I had moved. My phone number changed. No one could get a hold of me. They tried. But if I had MICAH, they would have been able to look me up, and they would have known. If they knew, like the world knew this is a resource, they would have been able to find me. So I believe, and I'm not alone. We have all this information out here. Eric Schmidt, the former CEO of Google, said the most valuable asset we have is our identity, which exists primarily online. Yet people are not curating the content. So a museum is nothing but a bunch of old stuff unless you curate it to help people get the picture that you want them to get, the feeling, the knowledge, etc. So with all this content, and Google understands that too, which is, former CEO Eric Schmidt. I got a video on it somewhere. I can show you if you want the link. But what I'm saying is, as you have all this social media, where is your hub? See, people are mentioning this all over. There's a need for a hub, a need for a single source. And if you listen to marketers, they talk about it. They talk about it from a business aspect. I am tired of business thinking controlling what's going on. Even my friend, I just reconnected with him, part of what the video's on. And he's like, why are you, he didn't understand what was my motivation behind it. My motivation behind it is I'm tired of being kind of like dragged around because I'm not looking or building a solution. And what I mean by dragged around is I have Facebook, I have a Twitter, I have an Instagram, I got a Pinterest, I got a Snapchat. I'm not active on all these. I have WhatsApp. Like, I got all these social medias and I'm not active on all of them. I got 3 kids. I can't be active on all of them. Even, making this video, I had to wait for them to leave, etc. So now I'm making this video. I got my own business. I don't have time to be all over that. But what I can do is I can curate it and I can put it into a nice package. And when I meet someone, I can say, here. And if they don't want to take the time to look at that, forget it. Because you know what a lot of people do? They will Google your name anyway when it comes to a business relationship, when it comes to a dating relationship, when it comes to whatever. And it's like, wait, I have no case to show you. Some things are out of context. Let me put it to you in context or present to you how I want to be seen. And then maybe I can speak even a little more freely. So you find a post on Facebook where I'm mad and ranting. But if you see the collective of who I am, you'll say, oh, he was just mad. I see he's a good guy over here. I see he had a fall over there. He's human. But I see the whole picture. And you know what? If someone wants to connect with me, I don't want to go through what network are you on? Go look me up on here. Because guess what I don't do? As I put in my first video, my friend and I missed each other for years because we relied on Facebook. I don't check it. You know what? I didn't even know how to check it. I didn't know how to send a message. I didn't know how to tag friends. I didn't know how to direct message on Instagram. It's just too much. I can't log out. All right? I'm on the apps. I'm like, how do you log out of here? They make it tricky. Sometimes they change it, and I'm not saying this from a speculation. I'm saying this because I've done my research. I know what they do, what they want to do, and they want to keep you on their app, on their site as long as possible. Now, if I'm trying to share some information with you about me, doesn't it make sense that I take you to where I want you to be? Like, come to my house, right? Less distractions. Just come to my house. I'm not going to tell you to check out my bedroom. I'm not going to put you in a position where you can't focus on what the intention is. So if the intention is for us to connect, focus on us connecting, not ads and messenger popping up here and bloop over there and bloop over there. And, Facebook doesn't want you to have to leave Facebook, but it's quite distracting. And, when you're on there, even if you're doing it, I don't want people to know if I'm online or offline. I don't like all that stuff, man. And so my internet contact address hub is just that. I hear people talking about it, and it's just that. And when I was younger, in the 90s, I almost got in on the internet, but there was a lot of naysayers. I would go to businesses, and they would say, I don't need a website. Some would say, I don't need an email. I don't need this. I don't need that. And then boom, it's there. I don't need a cell phone. Who wants to take a phone with me? Okay. I don't need to watch videos. And like everything that we're living right now, a lot of people say, I don't know. I got videos right now that talk about who knows if social media will turn out to be worth the time for companies to invest in. Will it provide profit? Because that's all it's about is profit. And if they get enough users, then they get profit. They say they want to connect, but you got to have a business model, right? That makes money. Huh? I got the videos. PayPal CEO talking about it, everything. And this was 2014. And the reality was like mobile is everything. Everybody's on their mobile. All right, now here's a question for you. You ever sign up for something and it's like, connect your contacts? Do you want to connect your contacts? When I go to send a Gmail, if I'm sending a Gmail, say I get an email in and I go to reply, if they're not in my contacts, it goes, whoa, they're not in your contacts. Are you sure you want to send it to them? Yeah, I'm sure. Okay, send. But then guess what Gmail does? They automatically put them in my contacts. Not on my phone like that, but they put them in like my Google contacts. And that's why when you go to type it again, it automatically will show up because they put it in your contacts, like for you automatically. Not in your phone book contact, in a Google contact. So, and I could show you articles about them doing this. It was a big deal. It was supposed to make life easier and also help with, spam and stuff like that. So they're taking control. We've gotten to a point where we don't even know how to curate our own content. You do it. We're going to let Google give us a people card and be like, all right, that's cool. When that's really not enough because the people card only relies on about me, like a little 5 sentences, not even, I don't think, and then your links, a couple of social media links. That's it. You could have a link to your MICAH. That would be cool. But they're not giving you like your own space. And if they did, they probably would be siphoning, what's the word? I don't know. They're going to be doing it for some kind of marketing. Everything they do is about data marketing. That's why they're getting sued. Facebook too. That's the business that they're in, but not MICAH. That's not the business that it's in. It's not a social network. It's my internet contact address hub. Now I'm liberated. I can be on Facebook and leave. And the people that are truly my contacts are going to know if I want to get a hold of Christopher, I'm going to go to his MICAH. I haven't seen him on Facebook. I sent him a message. He's not responding. What's going on? Because I ain't checking Facebook. And I don't owe Facebook no kind of response to tell you that I'm not on it, or Twitter or anything else. I'm just not on it. It's my business. But those that really are connected with me, they know how to get a hold of me now. And that's through MICAH. This just wasn't there before. It's like, what do? Back in the day, you could hit the white pages. You have listed and unlisted. There's no white pages. Look at that, right on time. Look at it that way, man. This is the white pages of the future. So that was a great doorbell. And you know what? This video, whoever's watching, I was making it for a response to Facebook posts. But I think I'm gonna put it on my YouTube. You see that? You see? I'm gonna put it on my YouTube, and it's gonna connect to my MICAH. I'm not gonna go all on about what MICAH does because it's not about what it does. It's the concept. It's here. I didn't understand why switch from MySpace to Facebook. Why get a Twitter? Why get a Pinterest? But all of these are slightly different. MICAH is different. It's just, and it's not a sales pitch for anything. It's an idea pitch. It's different. We're different. Everything that comes along, though, usually has backing by big people. All these social medias that I mentioned, Amazon, they got $100,000 loan. They got a $1 million angel investor. They got this, that. They got so much money that they can get their idea out. They can push it out, or they use marketing tactics. I'm using this right here. I'm talking to you. I'm keeping it real. So what's the deal? Do you want to be able to curate your content in this world? Do you want people to be able to find you? When you join a social network, it says connect your contacts. So if you're really trying to connect with people, you're going to want to get in their contacts because a lot of people do connect their contacts. I just registered my social contact card number. Well, that's too much. I just registered with WhatsApp. And when I did today, because finally I got my phone fixed. It asked me, hey, connect your contacts so you can see who else is on here so you guys can network and talk. On my PayPal, hey, connect your contacts so that you can easily pay people. Why isn't anyone understanding that the value for us as just like regular Joes and for businesses of all sizes is to be in someone's contacts? I have 700 and something contacts in my phone. It does not move any slower. These phones are built for it. Google can hold 50,000 contacts. The iCloud or whatever they use up there can hold 25,000 contacts. Most of us are not going to need that many contacts. Point is, that's what it's built for. The companies are ahead of you. They're ahead of this conversation. All right, but they're so into self that they're not really presenting, I believe. They're not, until the courts come in, they're not really presenting something for you, like digital health. Did they present digital health like that prior to the Congress and Senate and the hearings, or did they do that after everyone had an uproar? Right. We're at a time, man. It's time to evolve. The internet is going nowhere, as you know. URL is the www. Stands for Universal Resource Locator. Connecting with me, my phone number, my contact information is a resource to get a hold of me. It's time that I have my own URL, my own Universal Resource Locator. It's just to think differently and then share it with enough people so they can also think differently, and then they will evangelize it. That's how social media came about, you know? And actually, as far as Facebook, remember, this dude illegally hacked a college. 30,000 people. That's like spam. And then he's gifted by being the youngest billionaire ever. Come on, dude. I'm not complaining. What I'm saying is that he had to reach so many people with the idea in order for the idea to get jump started. Okay, so that's where I'm at now with MICAH and that concept. You know, some people get digital business cards. That's just a digital business card. That is not MICAH. But if it helps, think of it as a digital business card, fine. But digital business card is so business and just a link to social media. And it's not the concept of like the evolution of the internet. Everyone needs it, which is why I dubbed the phrase personal communications platform, because that's what it is. I need to be able to leave Sprint after 15 years. They kicked me off. Oh, by the way, after Sprint, T-Mobile did the same thing. That was the camel straw backing break. I was going to say it backwards, but that was the straw that broke the camel's back when T-Mobile did it. It was like twice, really? 15-year number, and then a 7 or 8 years, the number. And my wife, her number went away. It was just a nightmare. She is still mad at me how many contacts she lost because her number was gone. And as we know, the white pages are gone. So how does she connect with those people that had her phone number? She doesn't. Social media. But now it's too much. Are you getting me here? I'm saying the same thing in different ways. The way of the future is for each of us to have a MICAH, my Internet Contact Address Hub. There's no attachment to his social media. There's no detachment from the social media. It works together. First thing is, I need to be in control of me, my content, and I curate that. I can use different social media platforms and tie them into MICAH. And then when I meet you, I say, here's my MICAH. Please save me to your contacts. And when you do that, I have a contact card that has all the information I want you to have about me in the contact card that goes in your phone. Have you ever looked in your phone? Your phone does so much. That's why most apps actually invoke things that are already on your phone. But we're not just taking the time to learn how to use our phone. It's like having a car, and instead of learning how to drive, you pay someone to come over and drive you. I like that. That's kind of the era that we're in a little bit, and I'm saying no, we don't have to do that. You know, so yeah, man, it's just looking at your interactions throughout the web and curating that. And then it's very important that we have to understand as users. I told my friend, I tell everyone, like, if you don't want, there's very there's very few times I won't let somebody connect with me and not take my contact card. And the reason is I give them my phone number, then they ask me for my email. Then they ask me if I'm on Facebook, what's my handle? They ask me if I'm on Twitter, what's my handle? The instant message, then all these. Look, if you would have taken 2 minutes to import my card into your phone, we'd be done. And I'm not talking about putting it on the home screen, because we all got too much on our home screen. I'm talking about saving it in your contacts. And when you want to holler at me, it's there. You have a picture of me, the picture I want, not an 800-pound gorilla because you're mad at me or whatever. You have the content that I want you to have about me. And I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. That's, there's nothing wrong with that. What we have to do is realize that there's power in it, that we need to do this in order to control that conversation. So there's so many channels here, and there's always something new. There's another, I can go through all the social medias that are popping up, and people are leaving one, going to the other. I'm not following everyone. I'm just going to do my own thing. And if you want to actually like talk to me, this is how you can get a hold of me. And if I don't want to be discovered, I can make it private. And my MICAH, I can make private. No one can see me. It's all about the concept, man. I love the fact that you are, you gave your handles and stuff, or your passwords to your family so that they can control that if you were to pass. I pray that you don't prematurely, or, just later. But for anyone that is watching this, the idea isn't new. I'm bringing the thought process to the table. I'm bringing the solution. And I told my family I want to be the thought leader in this, because I've been there before. And I don't have $100,000, but I think when you have a solution to something, you have a choice. You can take action and just start. A journey of 1,000 steps starts with one, right? So you can just take action and start stepping, or you can not. And the journey just gets longer, farther away, and somebody else just take one step at a time. Next thing you know, you look up and then you're like, hello. They're like way ahead of you. So let it be known. I'm here to tell the world that it's time for MICAH. Personal communications platform is mycontactapp.net. And you're going to see these things popping up. MICAH is my internet contact address hub. Everyone should get one. And if you're on social media, cool. Because right now, you might want to know how to get a hold of my brother. And he probably don't want me giving out his phone number. But if he had a MICAH, he can make it public. He can make it private. And you could go search for him. And if he's there, cool. If he's not, cool. Instead of... And that's his space, right? Because right now, you would kind of have to stalk him. There's a couple of buddies from high school that I want to know. I ran across one on YouTube, and I wanted to stalk him. I sent him a message. Who knows if he got it? But I don't know how to get a hold of him. And we were tight. I'm not going to say his name, but we were tight, We did music and stuff together, so anyone that knows me knows who I'm talking about. And I don't know where he is right now. My number has changed, and even though I don't think it'll be a problem, I don't want to stalk him like that. But if he had MICAH, I can look him up, and if he wanted to be found, it would be there. I'd be like, cool. And that's what it comes down to. I put his number in my phone, and if anything ever change, I know I can go find him on his MICAH and connect with him, and I can connect with him on the platforms I'm on. There's no point for me to give him an Instagram handle if he's not on Instagram. Right? But when I go to his MICAH, I can see what platforms he's on, what are his preferences, and then I can expect him to actually pay attention to those because he put them there. Do you get what I'm saying? So I'm going to start this series this week. I didn't know it was Cyber Monday. I forget about that stuff. But this week, I'm calling it a series, but I'm going to take this idea to the world. I'm going to put on my MICAH. I'm going to do some Zooms. And I'm gonna put it on YouTube and see who comes along. When I'm on here talking on Facebook, the thing is I'm not trying to convince anybody or nothing. but I am trying to share the concept. So there's a difference for me. I share the concept, ask a couple of questions, but I'm not mad. I ain't trying to sell you a car. You know, if you want to connect with me, this is how you do it, because I don't answer calls that I don't recognize. And the only way for me to recognize you is to put you in my phone. But I refuse to put you in my phone and then ask you for your email. And then you're going to ask me for yours. And it's a waste of time, or for mine, it's a waste of time when we can just do the MICAH thing. So that's about it. Check mine out, man. I'm going to put a link to my MICAH, and you can sift through it. If you click through, mine is like a house. I compare it like a house. You walk in the house, you got the living room. That's my homepage. From the homepage, I say, hey, you can go to business, and you can learn about my business stuff, whatever I'm doing, and hey, it's business, right? Or you can go over here to personal, and I pour my heart out in a bit. There's a space there where I had a COVID journey. No one's watched it. I'm not popular enough. I think I actually might have taken it down too, because it was quite revealing. It was hard. My uncle died during that time. My niece died last Thanksgiving. It was hard, emotional. And so, yeah, that was that. So I did a COVID journey every day. At some point, I would talk about what was going on, how I felt, what my predictions were, or whatever. And that was on my YouTube. And then I took my YouTube and embedded a playlist inside my MICAH. But in some cases, I didn't want to put it on YouTube. So I used self-hosting video that comes with MICAH, and I put it up. There's lots of ways to curate that, man. I got an Instagram feed built into my MICAH. The idea is the same that they have at Facebook. Once someone gets there, you don't want them to leave. So you see some of these sites where, in some of these type of profile things and digital business cards, where people click on it and then they click out of it. Once someone leaves, they may not come back. So at all possible, if at all possible, we want to try and keep them in the same area where they can continue to learn about me, which is where they came, why they came there, to learn about me or whatever it is, right? To get my contact information and not get distracted. And if they just Google my name, they're going to be distracted. There's a couple of people with the same name as me that are in jail, killers, dead, and yeah, we don't want that. And the Google people card thing, that's in India, but I still don't want them on my business if they don't have to be. I just get a MICAH. And if someone don't want to take a second to put in their name and number and email and, press send so that they can get my contact info, and then they're probably not really worth it anyway. Lastly, I'll leave you with this. In the sales world, there's an 80-20, 20-80 rule, whatever. 80% of your sales are done by 20% of the sales force. And so as we have all these contacts in social media, 800 I think I got in Facebook, I talk to less than 5% with any kind of consistency. Probably I talk to less than 0.1% with any kind of consistency. That includes family members. Those that really may want, you don't have to talk to me all the time, but if you think you might want to get a hold of me, we might want to have a conversation. We might want to have a private conversation without being subject to somebody else's terms and conditions and robots or whatever. Fill out the thing and download my contact information and send me a direct text and we can talk. Not hard, right? That's where I'm at. So as I meet people, the most valuable assets we have are actually in our phone book. And these social media sites are they know that. But what they try and do is make your phone book the social media site. Problem, not everybody's on it. So that you see the circle, that circle, and that's where eventually God bless a child that's got its own. My indicates ownership. And it's my internet contact address hub, MICAH. Check it out. The link is there. Or you just go to chriscollinssr.com, like Chris Collins Sr., but it's Chris, typical spell, CHRISCOLLINSSR.com. chriscollinssenior.com. That's my MICAH. But it comes with a profile, unique profile that you get to pick, and or you can go get a URL and redirect it like I did. So my wife's got one, my mother's got one, my children's got one, especially the younger people. They really need to control their content and curate it, because as we know, people are going to be looking at it for jobs and everything else. So they need a space where people like my cousin, went and saw, where they can see, okay, this is what's real. And if bad things are out there and they leak, fine. But likely, when someone goes through your MICAH, if you're genuine, they may stop right there. It's just like a referral. I'm going to leave you with this. My mother-in-law got her cabinets done by a place, and it was a referral, and she didn't even check them out. It was a referral. She was like, I'm good. You were highly recommended. It didn't work out too well. Let me just put it that way. So she learned, or has decided, I'm not going to say learned, but yeah, she learned that it's still worth checking out something, even if it's highly recommended. Now, in the sense of MICAH, when someone comes there and they look through all your stuff, they're probably going to do what she did at first, which is stop, because basically they saw enough and they feel like recommended. They feel comfortable because they learned about you through the MICAH, and they can see you, they can see your posts and everything else, and they're like, yeah, this is cool. So they're not gonna jump on the search engine and start looking you up unless they're trying to get dirt on you, and that's always going to be there. All right. So yeah, that's about all I got right now. I did not expect to talk for 32 minutes, and if you finished this video, I definitely want to know your thoughts, and if you're interested in just learning how, more about how MICAH works, and how you can get one, and how you can get paid from having one. Oh man, all kind of stuff. If you just want to get in on this thought process and get a better understanding, because what some people don't understand is it's not just everything I said, but it's also how you exchange that information, which is why a lot of people have, just, hey, text me your number. It's just call me, I'll save it. I mean, I've done it, but it goes a little deeper than that. So I've created the social contact card number. Privacy is an issue, all kind of stuff, and it gets deep. You can get a little demo of my social contact card number by calling this number. You ready? It's 630 area code, country code 1. So 1-630-931-0511. That's 630-931-0511.